In December 2021, I started using my library apps to read ebooks on my iPad because I already had this for language studying and I wanted to see if I would enjoy ebooks. As it turns out, I really enjoy ebooks for a few reasons, but I'll get to that in a minute. Despite loving ebooks on my iPad, I really have been wanting to get a Kindle and I have been tracking the prices, waiting for it to drop because there are always sales. Finally, it went down 15%, and while that's not the greatest deal I've seen, I decided I couldn't wait any longer, and I finally got my Kindle Paperwhite. So this video is going to be about Kindle, and there's a couple things that I want to talk about. So I'll put chapters down below so that you can skip around to your heart's content. But the YouTube algorithm loves it when you watch my whole video. It also adores it when you like this video, so please do that so my video can reach other book lovers out there. And if you love Kindles and ebooks, then please be sure to subscribe to this channel because I have some awesome videos coming up. In this video, I want to cover 5 reasons that I love ebooks. I'm also going to do an unboxing of this bad boy right here. To justify this purchase, I also have a list of 7 reasons that I wanted to buy a Kindle to read ebooks rather than just using the iPad I have. Finally, I wanted to share my initial reactions when I start using the Kindle to read ebooks. In this video, we are talking about the Kindle Paperwhite, and it's not the most recent edition. I got one model older, so that means that I passed on the warm light feature that's available in the new one. And really, it's a superficial reason. I wanted a pink one. Yeah, I know, you're right. I could have just put a pink cover on any Kindle and achieved the same thing. But the whole point of a Kindle, the whole allure, is that it's smaller and it's lightweight, so I didn't feel like adding bulk to it. Here are 5 reasons I've found that really make me enjoy ebooks. While I can't deny I am a sucker for the smell and the feel of a good, solid physical book, I love the instant gratification of ebooks. As soon as I think of a title, I can go check my Libby app with my library, or I can check Amazon, and I can get that ebook immediately. I don't have to drive to a bookstore. I don't have to wait for it to be shipped. I don't have to go drive to the library to get it. I can get it right there on my couch in my PJs. And of course, I'm a millennial and we love instant gratification. The second reason I uncovered why I love ebooks is that I can be out in public and nobody knows what I'm reading. I could be reading the smuttiest, trashiest romance book with a naked man on the cover with his nipples out in the wind, and it won't matter. Nobody's gonna look at me, nobody's gonna judge me. I don't know actually if I care if they look at me and judge me anyways, but I don't have to worry about it. I can just be in my own head, in my own world with my book, and nobody knows. The next reason that I love ebooks is that I can read at night and I don't need to leave a light on. It's also really nice when I'm sitting on the couch with my boyfriend and he wants to watch some crazy weird show on TV and I'm not interested. I can still share space with him and read my book next to him. The lights can be off and I could just be on my e-reader. The next reason that I love ebooks is I love how lightweight they are. I remember when I was reading Crime and Punishment, I was reading my beautiful Easton Press edition, and it is a leather-bound hardback, and it was super heavy. Even if I have it on my lap because I'm sitting on the couch, you still have to hold it up, and it gets kind of tiring for your hands and wrists. I'm sure that's why all of us bookworms have these huge muscles, you know. I never really cared about the weight of the book and holding it up for long, but I have to say, as I'm reading more and more and for longer periods of time, I do realize how it gets kind of uncomfortable, and that does cause me to stop reading sometimes. So having an e-reader is just a lot more flexible and easier to hold and helps me read for longer. Finally, my 5th reason that I love e-readers is I'm really enjoying taking notes in my books. So you can highlight different lines that you want to refer back to. These could be quotes that I like, or a lot of times it's character features. I like to highlight the descriptions of their appearance. I like to highlight their age. So I love that I can highlight it and refer back. It's not quite as extensive as maybe my annotations are with the different tabs and the different colors, but I do love that I can go to GoodReads and I can see everything that I highlighted and I can refer back to it. Those are the 5 reasons that I love ebooks. So now let's get to a super satisfying unboxing of this e-reader. That last shot really highlights the #1 reason that I wanted to get a Kindle rather than using my iPad, and that is in the size. Look at this size difference. Okay, it doesn't seem maybe like it would be a big deal, or maybe even the iPad would be better because more words fit on the page maybe, but when you're holding it for that long reading a book, this gets super bulky and intrusive and it's hard to move around. It's not as bad as like a heavy hardcover book, but it's still very bulky, and I really love the smaller size of the Kindle. Look how cool my pop socket is. Isn't that awesome? Makes it so much easier to hold on to it. The second reason why I wanted a Kindle over my iPad is it's easier on the eyes. There's something about the ink screen that does make it easier to read. I don't know if it's necessarily like the blue light. I don't know. I'm not a tech reviewer, so you might need to look up somewhere else for that. But me personally, I do feel like it's easier on the eyes. The third reason I wanted a Kindle is I wanted to focus solely on reading. My iPad, I bought it for the purpose of studying languages and also digital planning. So that with, I do have Instagram on there, I have my GoodReads account on there, I have YouTube on there. So it's harder to compartmentalize my reading because I get distracted by using other things. Kindle, I am focused on that book. #4 is the battery life. So with my iPad, it won't last a full day if I'm using it. If I'm using it at work for digital planning, if I'm using it on my breaks to scroll Instagram, look at Bookstagram, after work is typically when I do my studying of Spanish and French. So I'm using different apps, I'm using my note taking, I'm looking at YouTube videos. After that, I might go to BookTube and review some BookTube videos and then read my book. There's no way I'm reading that book for long because that iPad battery is gonna die. The Kindle, on the other hand, advertises that the battery can last for weeks. So I'm gonna have to test that out and see how many books I can get through in one charge of the Kindle. But no matter what, I think it is going to be longer lasting. Next up, a major problem I have is that I cannot use my iPad in the sun. So in Phoenix, I want to be outside in the springtime. I want to be sitting by the pool. I want to be at outdoor restaurants. And if I'm in the sun, I cannot see the screen. With the Kindle, you can see the screen in the sunlight. So that is a huge benefit and why I wanted to purchase this. Speaking of reading by the pool, the Kindle is waterproof. So when it's time to get in the water, this bad boy is coming with me. There's no way I'm taking my iPad near the water. This is how I'm gonna be reading, lounging in the water. The final reason to consider a Kindle over an iPad for e-reading is not necessarily gonna apply to me since I have both, but it might apply to someone else out there. The Kindle is a hell of a lot cheaper than an iPad. This bad boy was $100, where this one was like 700 or 800. And I got a lower end model because I don't need a lot of memory and space. So they go upwards over $1,000 really easily. Kindle is a lot more budget friendly. So far, I have about 4 initial reactions I wanted to share with you. The first thing that I've noticed about the Kindle is there does seem to be a little bit of a delay, and it is slower than using an iPad. I've noticed this going through the pages of my home screen and also turning the pages of the book. I'm just used to this super quick, sensitive reaction of the iPad screen. Next, I knew going into the Kindle that this is a black and white screen, whereas the iPad has color. And that kind of bugs me when it's the cover of the book because I'm really drawn to the aesthetic of the cover and the artwork on it. So sometimes it's kind of a bummer to only have it in black and white, and I miss that on the iPad. The next thing I realized is it is a lot easier to highlight on the iPad than it is in the Kindle. Part of this could be the delay that I'm noticing and the screen not being as sensitive, which I mentioned already. And also I miss having color options. So on the iPad, since it's the color screen, like I mentioned, you can choose if you want to highlight in blue, pink, yellow, whatever. And so it's a little bit better for different annotations. You don't have that option with the Kindle because it's a black and white screen. The fourth thing is I really hated the ads on the home screen of the Kindle. So I recently just had enough the other night, and I hated seeing these like really ugly, gross covers being promoted to me. So I went ahead and found the instructions to pay an extra $20 fee and have them taken down. So now I seem to be running through a series of images from Kindle. This one is just a bunch of pens, I guess. I was hoping it would be the cover of the book that I'm reading that would show up when the Kindle's sleeping. I'm not actively reading, but no such luck. That's what I get. But it's a lot better than an advertisement. Look what I just uncovered. So I found the option in device options to show the cover of what I'm currently reading on the lock screen. So I don't have to see those silly like Kindle stock images anymore. I feel like one of the most common quotes is, "I hate Amazon, but..." I think we'd all prefer to shop at other places, but we do recognize that Amazon has some strengths and some conveniences we cannot live without. But the ads on Kindle are one of the frustrating things. I already paid $100 to buy your product. Stop pushing things on me and forcing me to pay an extra fee to get out of it. But of course, like everyone else, even though I complain and I'm unhappy about it, I'm still gonna give Jeff Bezos my money. So there you have it, the reason that I love ebooks, my super fun introduction to my new Kindle baby, the reasons why I wanted a Kindle in addition to my iPad, and my initial reactions from using the Kindle so far. Please make sure you are subscribed to my channel because I am going to sign up for Kindle Unlimited and see if it's really worth my money to have this additional monthly subscription for reading ebooks in addition to just using my library to download them. Thank you so much for hanging out with me in this Kindle video, and I will see you in the next one.